Hello, how's it going? This is Ronaldo Hernandez, and today I want to talk to you about how I do my carnivore refeeds and how I hydrate myself throughout the day. So with the carnivore refeeds, um, I typically eat about 2 to 3 pounds of meat. Uh, that ranges from like 2,500 to 3,500 calories, depending on like how I cook the meat, what kind of meat that I buy, and things like that. Like today, I ate about 2 pounds of ribeye steaks, and I ate about a pound of liver. All that together was a little bit over 3 pounds. I've actually ate more today because I've been losing weight the last few days. I was eating like about 2,700 calories, and like every day the scale keep going lower and lower. I keep getting leaner and leaner. So I'm trying to gain weight right now. I want to at least hit like to 170, 175, see how I look, and then go, take a cut from there. But I technically, did like a 5 day cut, like a week cut. So, now it's time, put some weight on. Eat a little bit more. Obviously, that's the only way to gain weight. So you gotta eat. So, with the carnivore refeed too, when I cook my meat, I usually cook it with like lard, and I do count the calories and how much lard I use. Um, I don't. I sometimes don't use or eat all the lard that's in the pan when I cook it. I just use it more for the purpose of not getting my meat stuck on the pan. But I know some of the calories get absorbed onto the meat. Because the meat kind of like absorbs all the fat from like the oil you're using or whatever. So I count like some of those calories. I count all the calories I use, but I don't know. It's weird. Like I don't know if you notice that when you cook meat, sometimes the fat from the meat goes onto the pan, so you have like more fat on the pan. But either way, I still count the calories that I use additionally to what I use on the pan to cook the meat with, just so I could be as accurate as I can. Personally, I rather overestimate how many calories I eat than underestimate, because if I overestimate, that tells me that all right, it's okay to eat a little bit more if I'm losing weight, or it's also just safer for me. Like I don't, it's like because like if you underestimate your calories and then you track your weight at the same time, you're gonna notice that you might be gaining weight. So that tells you that you're eating too much. So you gotta cut that back. That probably was a little weird, worded out, but either way, just count everything you eat, everything you use for cooking, everything you use for like any like what's the word, like seasonings or stuff like that. Like count it, because you're adding that to your body, so it's like that's energy that's like being accounted for. That's all I have to say. And with the carnivore refeeds, lately I've been doing mostly beef, throughout the week, and I try to incorporate like organ meats when I can, like liver, small intestines. I'm gonna try to see what other meats I could buy, test out. Um, but generally, that's the plan right now. Eating about like 3,500 calories. Um, and when I cook my meat, I add like salt to it, mainly just sea salt, pink Himalayan salt, or no salt. A reason why I add no salt is because no salt is basically potassium chloride, and if you don't know, regular salt is sodium chloride. So with the potassium chloride, you're getting the electrolytes your body needs for it to kind of like do things, you could say, because we have this pump in our body called a sodium potassium pump, and what this does is that it helps our cells communicate with one another. You know, neuron cells to other neuron cells, or neuron cells to muscle cells, and they communicate because, or how they communicate is by the sodium and potassium. They release onto the other cell for them to kind of like signal each other, and when they signal each other, that's how they kind of communicate. So that's why it's important to get the potassium in, because it's just gonna make sure that your body's like working efficiently. And not only that, you know, if you're not doing like full carnivore, um, then obviously it's better to get this potassium from like vegetables. But if you know on carnivore though, it's kind of harder to get that potassium in. So that's why I highly recommend using no salt when you cook your meats. You know, just so you make sure you're getting that electrolyte in. If you don't want to use a no salt, but to be honest, I highly suggest you do, because you need that. But if you don't want to consume it by putting it on your meat, because it does taste differently from like regular salt. I actually like regular salt better than the no salt. But if you don't want to do that, then you can add it into your water, which is what I'm going to talk about next, about how I hydrate myself. So throughout the day, I drink about like 3 to 4 liters a day. That's about 90 to 120 ounces, 130 ounces a day. And on carnivore, I actually, uh, you could say, make the snake juice. If you haven't heard about that, snake juice is this is water with salts and like baking soda that people drink for when they fast. And you could get this from like the snake diet too, but I could just explain it to you too here. With the water, every 2 liters of water, which looks like about this is about 2 liters right here. You going to put at least half a teaspoon of sea salt or pink Himalayan salt. Make sure it's like good quality. I buy like a market brand, but it's still pretty good quality though, in my opinion. Um, then you add 1 teaspoon of no salt. Then you add 1 teaspoon of baking soda, and you add half a teaspoon of Epsom salt, which is just the salt used for like soaking your body. It's like for recovery purposes. But that's optional though for the Epsom salt. You don't have to drink that. I sometimes put it in my drink, sometimes not. Depends if like I forget it, or I do remember to put it. But the reason why you need all those salts is because they're your electrolytes. The sea salt, that's your sodium chloride, and the no salt is your potassium chloride. And like I said earlier, you need these salts in your body because they're the like you could say minerals or the chemicals that are used for your body to communicate with each other on a on atomic level. So if you're low on these salts, you're gonna start feeling like fatigue. You probably start crapping up all the time. Um, you might have like other like side effects. So it's very important you get those salts in. And for the baking soda, well, that's just more for the purpose of keeping your body like alkalinized or basic, for when your body goes into like acidic ketosis. And this can happen when you are doing carnivore, because on carnivore, you're generally eating like more higher fatty meats, or it's recommended that you eat higher fatty meats for you to get the energy instead of from carbohydrates. And I could explain this in another video, but basically, if you eat like high enough fat in your diet, um, and your body uses that fat for energy, you go into a state called ketosis, for when your body starts breaking down fat for fuel. And when this happens, it's breaking down triglycerides in your body, which is three free fatty acids and a glycerol head. And when it breaks this down, specifically the fatty acids, um, you're breaking down acid, and that's being released into like your stomach and all that. And when that happens, that makes your body more acidic. So to counteract that, um, the baking soda will help that. Will help like maintain the pH in your body, so you won't be so acidic, and you won't have like kind of like digestive issues if that does occur. But just make sure you drink the baking soda and the salts, and you should be fine. Um, Other than that, with the water intake too, it depends on how I feel. I sometimes drink the whole 4 liters or two of those, what I showed you right here. But there's days where I only go like 1.5 of those or 90 ounces or so, and it just depends on my activity level. Like I feel like I didn't sweat too much, or I didn't move as much as I usually do, then I'll probably drink the 90 ounces. But if I know I'm gonna be more active that day, and I'm actually I run more, sweat more, then I drink the whole 2 liters. I mean whole 4 liters. So that's generally how I do my refeeds on a day-to-day basis. Uh, Also, on the hydration part, I try to cut my water intake at a certain time before I can like dry fast for like at least 12 hours. I just do that for like the healing benefits of dry fasting. But I also limit my stop the water intake like 4 hours before I go to bed, because I notice that when I drink water around my bedtime, I like end up waking up in the middle of the night to go pee, and I don't like doing that because that ruins my sleep, especially when I'm like in a deep sleep, and that's very beneficial for your body to go through for like recovery purposes and things of that nature. So I just want to say that if you have any questions, I'll be more than glad to answer them. Right now, I'm just trying to do as many I could share as much as I can about what I do, and maybe hopefully you guys might get something out of it. It might help you out. If you have questions, I'll do my best to them to answer 'em. We're doing a lot of experimenting, so if I could help, I'd be happy to. Thank you for tuning in, and this is a Fast Life.